Feelings originate from the dimension of your higher or greater self. You need to be quiet inside to catch those whispers in your heart. Emotions can disturb this inner silence and peace. Therefore it is vital to become emotionally calm and to heal and release repressed emotions. Only from your feeling which connects you to your soul can you make balanced decisions. By being quiet and peaceful, you can feel with all of your being what is right for you at a certain moment. Making decisions based on emotions is making decisions from a non-centered position. You need to release the emotions first and get in touch with your inner core where there is clarity. Now I want to go into the question of how you can best deal with your emotions. I said that feelings are your teachers and emotions are your children. The parallels between being emotional and being like a child are striking. Your inner child is the seat of your emotions. Also, there is a striking resemblance between the way you deal with your own emotions and the way you deal with real children. Children are honest and spontaneous in their emotions and they do not hide or repress them until adults encourage them to do so. The fact that children spontaneously express their emotions does not, however, mean that children experience their emotions in a balanced way. Everyone knows that children can be carried away by their emotions, rage, fear, or sadness, and are often unable to put a stop to them. In such a situation, the child can almost drown in their emotions and that makes them unbalanced, i.e. out of center. One of the reasons for this unbounded emotionality is that the child has only recently left a world in which there are hardly any boundaries. In the ethereal or astral dimensions, there were no such restrictions and limitations as there are in the physical realm, within the physical body. The child's emotions are often reactions of misunderstanding to this physical reality. Therefore, when he or she grows up, the child needs help and support in dealing with their emotions. This is part of the process of balanced incarnating on earth. So how do you deal with emotions, whether in yourself or in your children? Emotions should not be judged or repressed. Emotions are a vital part of you as a human being and as such they need to be respected and accepted. You can look upon your emotions as your children who need your attention and respect and your guidance. An emotion can best be viewed as an energy that comes to you for healing. Therefore it is important to not be completely swept away by the emotion, but to remain able to look at it from a neutral stance. It is important to stay conscious. One might put it like this: you should not repress an emotion, but you should not drown in it either. For when you drown in it, when you identify with it completely, the child in you becomes a tyrant that will lead you astray. The most important thing you can do with an emotion is to allow it in, to feel all aspects of it while not losing your consciousness. Take for instance anger. You can invite anger to be fully present, experiencing it in your body at several places, while you are at the same time neutrally observing it. Such a type of consciousness is healing. What happens in this instance is that you embrace the emotion, which is essentially a form of misunderstanding, with understanding. This is spiritual alchemy. Let me explain with the help of an example. Your child has bumped her knee on the table and it really hurts. She is upset, screaming with pain, and she kicks the table because she is angry with it. She considers the table to be the source of her pain. Emotional guidance at this moment means that the parent first helps the child name her experience. You are angry, aren't you? You are in pain, right? Naming it is essential. You transfer the root of the problem from the table to the child herself. It's not in the table, it is you who are hurt, it is you who is angry. And yes, I understand your emotion. The parent embraces the emotion of the child with understanding, with love. The moment the child feels understood and recognized, her anger will gradually fade away. The physical pain may still be present, but her resistance to the pain, the anger around it, can dissolve. The child reads compassion and understanding in your eyes, and this relaxes and soothes her emotions. The table, the cause of the emotions, is not relevant anymore. In embracing an emotion with understanding and compassion, you shift the focus of the child's attention from outside to inside, and you teach the child to take responsibility for the emotion. You are showing her that her reaction to an outside trigger is not a given, but that it is a matter of choice. You can choose misunderstanding or understanding. You can choose to fight or to accept. You can choose. This also applies to the relationship with your own emotions, your own inner child. Allowing your emotions in, naming them and making an effort to understand them, means that you truly respect and cherish your inner child. Making the shift from outer to inner, taking responsibility for the emotion, helps to create an inner child that does not want to hurt anyone else, that does not feel victimized. Strong emotions, whether anger, grief, or fear, always have the component of powerlessness, i.e., the sense that you are the victim of something outside of you. What you do when you focus not on the circumstances outside of you but instead on your reaction and your pain is that you dismiss the outside world as the cause of your emotions. You do not care that much about what gave rise to the emotion. You completely turn inward and you say to yourself, okay, this has been my reaction and I understand why. I understand why I feel the way that I do and I am going to support myself in this. Turning toward your emotions in such a loving manner is liberating. It does require a kind of self-discipline. Releasing outside reality as the source of the evil and taking full responsibility yourself means that you acknowledge that you choose to react a certain way. You stop arguing about who is right and who is wrong, who is to blame for what, and you simply release the whole chain of events that happened outside of your control. I now experience this emotion in the full awareness that I choose to do so. That is taking responsibility. That is courage. The self-discipline in this is that you give up on being righteous and on being the helpless victim. You give up on feeling angry, misunderstood and all the other expressions of victimhood that can feel quite good at some times. Truly, you often cherish the emotions that bug you the most. Taking responsibility is an act of humbleness. It means being honest with yourself, even at your weakest moment. This is the self-discipline that is asked of you. At the same time, this kind of turning inward requires the highest compassion. The emotion you are honestly prepared to face as your own creation is also looked upon with gentle understanding. You chose anger this time, didn't you? Compassion tells you, okay, I can see why and I forgive you. Perhaps when you feel my love and support more clearly you will not feel inclined to take that response next time. This is the true role of consciousness in self-healing. This is what spiritual alchemy means. Consciousness does not fight or reject anything, it encircles darkness with awareness. It encircles the energies of misunderstanding with understanding and thus transforms ordinary metal into gold. Consciousness and love are essentially the same. Being conscious means letting something be and surrounding it with your love and compassion. Often you think that consciousness alone is not enough to overcome your emotional problems. You say, I know I have repressed emotions, I know the cause of it, I am aware, but it does not go away. In that case, there is a subtle resistance within you to that emotion. You keep the emotion at a distance, from fear of being overwhelmed by it. But you are never overwhelmed by an emotion when you consciously choose to allow it. As long as you keep the emotion at a distance, you are at war with it. You are fighting the emotion and it will turn against you in several ways. You cannot keep it outside in the end. It will manifest itself in your body as an ache or tension or as a feeling of depression. Feeling down or weary frequently is a clear sign that you are repressing certain emotions.